Here's what we know. We know that every dollar that this Prime Minister spends, it drives up inflation, which increases the cost of living for Canadians. He said he'd be judged by the prices at the grocery store. Well, the report card is in, and it's a big F, failure. I'm talking about Susie in my riding. She's a senior and she's finding it difficult to be able to afford both rent and groceries. She's worked hard her entire life to make a go of it, and she's been rather successful until now. Now she's in this position where she's actually having to choose to skip meals in order to be able to pay her rent. That's not right. We live in Canada. It's the richest country, one of the richest countries in the world. Why is it that under this government, people like Susie are struggling so much?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary, the Minister of Finance.
I have good news for Susie and that member's riding, and good news for all Canadians. This morning, our Prime Minister announced a package of more affordability measures, including an extension and making a permanence of the National School Food Program, which is great news for all Canadians. This is a program that feeds 400,000 more kids per year. I know the member opposite has voted against this program in the past, but I can't understand how she can stand up here and try to lecture the Liberal Party on standing up for Canadians on affordability.
The Honourable Member for Lethbridge.
This member just told me that I should go back to my riding and tell Susie, a senior in my riding who has worked hard her entire life to be able to make ends meet, now can't pay for rent and groceries, therefore is skipping meals. This member just told me that I should tell her that she should enroll back in grade school so that she can take advantage of this government's bureaucratic school program. That's what this member just told me. Is he for real? Is he for real? If this is the definition of success, I'd hate to see the definition of failure.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Finance. Order.
I'm happy to clarify to the member opposite, there's a package of 3 affordability measures, and one includes automatic tax filing, which will help millions of Canadians, including seniors, to access benefits to which they're entitled. That's thousands of dollars for many Canadians, including the Canada Child Benefit, the GST rebate, the disability benefit, and many other benefits that Canadians will be able to take advantage of because of this government's actions. Automatic tax filing will make it easier for Canadians all across this country to access the benefits.
The Honourable Member for Cambridge.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister said Canadians should judge him by the cost at the grocery store. Well, they have, and he's failed. In Cambridge, the food bank saw over 23,000 visits last year, a 114% increase. Wow. 1/3 of those visits were children and youth, and 43% were first-time users, families who's never used the food bank before, now lining up for food. Even people with jobs can't afford groceries because the Prime Minister continues to take their lunch money to wine and dine abroad. If this is what success looks like to the Prime Minister, what does failure look like?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
In addition to 60,000 net new jobs added to the Canadian economy, we've now announced more affordability measures for Canadians that will put money in their pockets. A national school food program made permanent for in perpetuity will benefit Canadians to the tune of $800 per year. That's helping put food in hungry bellies of kids all across Canada. I can't understand how the Conservative Party can try to lecture us about food bank lineups and then stand up and vote over and over in this House against feeding hungry children.
Gentleman member for Cambridge.
Mr. Speaker, that wasn't an answer. This government took food off Canadian tables, then built a bureaucracy to take credit for giving some of the crumbs back. They talk about all these programs, but if they were working, then 1/3 of the people using food banks in Cambridge wouldn't be children. In my community, I've met parents who are working full-time, still skipping meals so their kids can eat. They're not failing, they're being failed. So on their behalf, I'll ask, why is it no longer a guarantee that a full-time job will put food on the table for families?
No, Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, we know that income security actually touches a lot of people in Canada. It's one of the reasons why today we've announced that the National School Food Program, a program that is going to help feed nearly 500,000 kids, is being made permanent. That program is going to save families up to $800 a year. But we're also making progress on another important driver of income insecurity, and that is housing. We're going to be building affordable housing at a scale that not seen since the World War II. If the member opposite cares about affordability for families, then they need to get on board and help us build the housing, bring down the rent, bring down the costs. That will help.
The Honourable Member for York Centre.
Just before the Prime Minister left Brookfield, he made sure that Brookfield headquarters left for the United States. The Prime Minister loves creating jobs in the United States. That's why youth unemployment rose in September to 14.7%. In Ontario alone, 17,000 young people lost their jobs. In fact, youth employment rate is sitting at a level not seen since 1999, with brief exception for the pandemic. But with young people unable to find work, the Prime Minister wants to send $1 trillion of investment to the United States. Why?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, Statistics Canada this morning told Canadians that last month, this new government created over 100,000 new full-time jobs. That's an achievement. That is progress. This government is committed to building a strong Canadian economy, the strongest one in the G7. That involves creating major projects, building affordable housing. These are plans that are going to help employ tens of thousands of people and create career-starting jobs for all Canadians. At the same time, we're investing in apprenticeships and we're investing in co-ops. Why won't the members opposite vote in favour of these plans?
The Honourable Member for York Centre.
Tell that to the 15% of young people in Toronto who can't find a job. But Speaker, with $54 billion of net investment fleeing Canada, the Prime Minister is leaving Canada's automotive workers destitute. With job losses at GM and Stellantis, we now learn that the auto tariffs are here to stay. Christmas is just around the corner, but thousands of Ontario's auto workers are on the chopping block. Why did this Prime Minister sell out Ontario's auto workers?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, Canada currently enjoys the best deal among the U.S.'s trading partners. This is not up for debate. However, as the member would like to see us do, our government is committed to ongoing negotiations and to securing greater tariff relief for all our industries. We are laser focused on protecting Canadian businesses and Canadian workers. Trade discussions are ongoing and we will not apologize for it. Thank you.
The Member of Kamloops, Shuswap, Central Rockies.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians wouldn't need food banks except for failed Liberal policies. Year over year, youth employment is up 1.2%. BC's forestry workers are worried they may be next. Almost 10 years ago, the Foreign Affairs Minister was to come up with a framework within 100 days. And this new Prime Minister promised, quote, to negotiate a win. Instead, softwood lumber tariffs have doubled. Why won't the PM fight for Canadian lumber mills and the families and jobs that they create?